HHDG.
Peace, hip hop discussion group. Today we had a double header. Right now, today on HHDG Media, the podcast, we have coming out of Baltimore, producer Storm Watkins.
Yes,
Peace,
sir.
man.
Peace.
How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. I'm so blessed right now. I just want to say I'm honored to be here. So, yeah, man, it's great.
Man, I can't remember exactly when I discovered you, but hearing your sound is like he's got something there, and it's not always the same on each project. So
I appreciate that, man. That's crazy.
You gotta tell the people a little bit about yourself before we go a little further.
Well, born in Baltimore, born and raised. Well, I can't really say grew up in Baltimore because we moved. My mom and my sister and me moved when I was 11. So I basically grew up in Wilson, North Carolina, basically. So yeah, man, just been in love with hip hop since I was 5. That's what I can remember. I remember going to Sam Goody. It was Christmas shopping time, getting Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out. It changed everything. I got to be honest. It led me down a rabbit hole in a sense. So yeah, I mean, I just love music, man. That's basically it. That's basically it.
Now, you have any people in your family that were musically talented?
Now I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about that one. I think I'm just on my own with that one.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, what about that album really gravitated you to?
The production. I don't know what Puff was on when he was doing that. Sounds like everything that really, it sounds like a movie. It's so lush. Everything about it, man, it's soulful. I'm talking about What You Gonna Do. That loop. I Love You, Baby, Black Rob. Like, come on, man. Like, everything about that album is amazing to me. Even though Puff is not technically the rapper, quote unquote. But yeah, I love everything about the album, honestly. I don't see a flaw in it.
And what kind of music did you start going to listen to or purchase after that?
Ooh, that's a good question. See, now this get tricky because I'm the youngest of 7, so I was introduced to everything. Like my parents had me when it was way later in their life, so I was always around everything. So, damn, what was I into? I was into, I mean, yeah, I'd say Bad Boy, Cash Money, No Limit for sure, Limit for sure.
Okay.
Oh man, No Limit. That was a moment for me. I'm glad I was allowed to be a part. Even though I was mad young, I still remember vividly
what was coming out at that time.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I had my little phase, being the youngest, and my parents being so older. I went down the Temptations phase when I was young. I can't lie. Okay. Temptations, Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? That's why the music so close to me. So yeah, I just really went down a lot of different lanes, different phases. I went through a lot of phases.
And those phases showing in your production.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I appreciate that. That's all.
Interesting. So you had a little bit of bounce. You got the soul going on. You got the hip hop coming from in New York.
Facts. And then when I moved to North Carolina, it was a whole nother Southern thing going on. That was, wow, that was crazy. It was a movement for sure.
Yeah. So was it the same thing with No Limit? It was the sound?
I mean, I'll say Lil Jon, DJ Toomp for sure, Bangladesh. It wasn't like the same, but you can tell they was influenced by it as well. Yeah, it was sort of the same, so to speak, I say.
Okay. So what would you consider if you actually not? I wouldn't say. Let me rephrase that.
Mhm.
What would be the first time you said I'm gonna try and make a beat?
Okay, let's see. I gotta give credit to my brother Jarrell Lofton. He's one of my very close friends that I met in North Carolina. He was making beats first.
Hmm.
He was the one that he wanted me to hear it because we already had a musical connection. We were so rare being in the South.
Hmm.
It was so rare that he was like, "Oh man, he know about all the stuff that I know about." So it was just like a click. So one day he just said, "Yo, I started making beats. You want to hear him?" He was like, "Matter of fact, I need you to hear him." So I listened to him, and I was totally honest. I said, "I don't like these like that." I was honest, and he
Hmm.
respected it. He respected it so much that he turned into an alien. I'm gonna be honest. He went to the whole next level production wise. So one day after school, Hunt High School, James B. Hunt High School, we was just chilling, and he happened to have FL Studio on the flash drive. And I was just sitting back. I'm like, man, let me get that flash drive. I just show me what to do, and then I'll figure the rest out because I already knew
Right,
I
right.
had some type of ear. So I took it home, and the rest is history. I guess here we are. It wasn't even me trying to make music myself. I just seen how determined he was making music, and I was like, all right, let me see if I can do this. Like, let me see if I can do it too.
Hmm. And what equipment? What was he using?
Just FL Studio 8 to be exact. It was 8
Hey,
at the
okay.
time.
Mm.
Yeah.
And is that something that you use currently?
I use 10, just 10.
Just then. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a reason why, but I ain't gonna tell niggas. They gotta find out. They
Okay.
gotta find out the tricks on their own. But yeah,
Interesting. So, what was your first project that you put out? Was that the Mako Kaji project?
oh no. First project I ever put out.
Hmm.
It's called Long Awaited. I hate it. I hate listening to it. You might find it somewhere. I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was March 2010, and it was called Long Awaited. That was the first project for sure.
Now, do you hate it because you've seen what you were doing then
Yeah.
and what you're doing now?
For sure. I can't. It's so cringy to listen to. I can't listen
Mm.
to that. I might listen to it one day just because we're talking about it right now. But no,
Okay.
I can't listen to that. Just being honest.
Mm. So FL Studios is the only. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, when 12 came out, I used 12 for like a little. That was like 2000. I say 15, 16ish. I was
Huh?
using 12 mainly because like some certain VSTs don't load up right on 10, like
Okay.
pianos, synths, and stuff like that. So I was really experimenting. But then I found out by using 12 that there's some tricks that I can do on 10 to make there's certain things that I found out. So I just went back to
Gotcha.
10.
Mm. Now you were mentioning earlier about Marvin Gaye,
Yeah,
and a lot of your production is in the foundation of the soulfulness.
for sure.
So,
That's a fact.
tell us how influential Marvin Gaye and just the whole soul has been on
Man,
you.
Marvin Gaye, it's so crazy. I didn't know how parallel our lives was until I really dug into his catalog. Even though I was familiar, but doing this project that I made, I
Hmm.
really dug into his story. Like, I'm like, yo, this man, we have a lot of similarities. And I never really knew that until I really did my research and really found out some things that I didn't even know. Like, I don't know, man. He's just again, versatility. He's one of the most versatile musicians ever in history.
Hmm.
So man, he just in the most I say the most thing we have in common, we put our life into music. And that's where it gets real kind of eerie-ish, if you will. It's kind of eerie when you like because I really put everything about my music is me. down to the beat titles. Everything is correlated around my livelihood, just like it was for him. Sometimes that's a gift and a curse. Sometimes it's cool, but I just want people to understand when I drop music, it's not just, how can I put this? It's not just a instrumental project. Like, it's really me. That's as plain as I can say it. It's me. Like, so I would say that, like, we really put our life in the music.
Yeah, because when you listen to your projects, you know, it doesn't, there's a difference between an instrumental album and a beat tape. Your projects don't sound like beat tapes.
Respect, man. That's crazy. It's just me. I can't really say nothing else about it. It's really me. Like, we can have a whole segment on that alone, like breaking down everything. It's really me, like 100%.
I think one of your first projects I heard was, it might have been the second, but I'm pretty sure it was the first, was This Too Shall Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy. And when I first heard it and I was, you know, reading your summary on it, you would mention that this was like 10 years of you doing music.
Yeah.
So
10 years. Yeah. Well, before COVID happened, I already was on a mission last year anyway. I knew my 10-year me making music, which was March of last year. I knew it was coming up, so I was like, all right, I gotta do something for me. To showcase, like, not even to nobody else, just display it to myself that, like, all right, I put the work in. I know I put the work in. Can't nobody take that from me. So I really had to show myself last year, like, all right, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing, like, forever? Like, everything else don't even matter anymore. You need to just focus on this. So honestly, I'm gonna be so honest right now. I had a conversation with the higher power at the beginning of last year, and I asked him. I literally asked, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, show me the signs, please. Like, and that's what happened. And that album in particular, man, that's some. Here we go. Like, it goes back to Marvin Gaye too. I was listening to what's going on a lot because of what we was going through within COVID. I was listening to that album a lot, and I was like, man, somebody has to make an album that when people go back and look, like, what is COVID? Like, how was that? What was the feeling? I wanted to really capture that within instrumentals, not so much of a history lesson type of thing, but personally, like, this is how I felt during the pandemic. So that's what that album really is.
It's a major milestone, definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, I'm a Miles Davis fan, and you know, when I saw that album cover, I was thinking at first, is this related to Miles Davis? And then when I started listening to it and then reading what you said about your project for the people, it's called Let the Music Speak. I was like, yeah, he's definitely on that.
Yeah, that making that album, I really like Miles Davis is an interesting guy. I'm gonna just say that off top. He's a very interesting cat, man. And what I wasn't trying to say, like, all right, I'm inspired, like trying to mimic what he did, because I can never do that. But I took his inspiration because during that time period, he was just so free. He was just making what he like. He didn't really care about it wasn't no rules. He just said, all right, I'm gonna just make something that I like. And that's what Let the Music Speak is. It's really every musician got this certain, like, they got albums where it's like, all right, this is when we was in the studio, mad shrooms, going crazy. Like, they always say that. So I was like, all right. So I did shrooms. I'm gonna keep it 100. I did shrooms for the first time, and it sparked the idea. Like, all right, we going to make one of those albums. I need one of those in my catalog. So that's what Let the Music Speak is. It's real psychedelic-ish. It's really crazy. But yeah, I'm glad people like it, because I really didn't know what people was going to say, but turns out people love it. So that's great.
Cool. That's great. Now, when you go into your projects, do you have, like, say, for instance, with the Miles Davis, were you listening to that album of his?
Yeah, of course, without a doubt.
And then that's what started sparking everything.
Yeah, for sure. Every day, like I'm really a nerd, music nerd. I really do the research. If I find it could be just an album I like, I'm trying to find out about the person that made the album. I really go that hard with it. I really live with the music before I even try my hand at something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's always your approach with
each project? For sure. It drives my girlfriend crazy, but it's the truth.
And how big of a fan are you of Daft Punk?
I mean, my favorite Kanye album is Graduation, so a huge fan. Huge fan. He really put me on. I ain't gonna lie. Graduation put me on to Daft Punk. So I've been a fan ever since. Now, when I heard they was not doing music no more, I thought it was fake. I thought it was one of them fake articles that was circulating.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna share this. But then I seen the little YouTube video that they made, and I'm like, oh wow, they really not doing this no more, huh? So I just wanted to pay my respect and do something. I was surprised with myself, honestly, how that turned out, because that was an experience. That was a 1 day type situation. It was really like a couple of hours, probably like 4 hours. And I was just sitting on my computer and I was like, all right, I got to put this out.
Yeah, my favorite album from them is still Homework and Discovery.
I love Homework. People, they sleep on Homework. I'm gonna keep it 100. They are asleep on Homework. That is an amazing body of work, man. That's crazy.
And how'd you feel about them doing the Tron soundtrack?
I didn't even know until recently. I swear I didn't know. Okay. I didn't even know until like when I was making the project. I didn't know. I had no clue. I swear. And I was like very impressed. I was very impressed.
Oh no. So out of your projects, which is one that really sticks out that you would like for the people to hear?
As much as I don't like listening to it because how heavy it is, I'll have to say the vocal album, the From the Source vocal album, where I'm really just telling my story, like from the source, quote unquote. It's heavy. I can't personally listen to it because of how real it is, and I know people around me love it because they notice they're like it's 100%. Like he's not telling no lies. He's being so honest with himself. But me personally, I can't listen to that because it takes me back to a certain point in my life that was really crazy. So yeah, I try to stray away from it. But yeah, it's on all streaming platforms. It's called From the Source Remastered. Yeah, check that out. I mean, people love it. So that's all I can say about that.
Okay. Now you mentioned you're the youngest. You have any of your elders that try and get into your production?
Like fan wise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, my sister Corey, the one we're closer in age, we like 4 years apart. She is really one of the reasons that I do this anyway, because we found out about all this music together. Basically, if I ain't know nothing about it, she put me on. If I knew something about something that she ain't know, I put her on. So yeah, when Kanye first came out, I'm talking about when I first heard him rap on Blueprint 2, like the bounce, like. We went and found the lyrics and like, who is this? We didn't even know his name or nothing. Didn't even know he was the one making these like the beats on Blueprint, none of that. But when College dropped, when Through the Wire video came out, it was like, oh snap, that's the same dude from the bounce. And it's the same dude that was making all these beats for Jay. Like it was a crazy thing. So yeah, I would say her for sure.
Now it all makes sense, right?
Facts.
Are there any Any artists you're currently working with?
Mook the Truth. I gotta give him, that man is amazing. I'm honored to be working with him right now. We got a project working. We should be about finished with it, honestly. SKE the Heistman out of the Bronx. Mr. Bats from AGK's own Mr. Bats. That's my brother. I love him to death. His new album's coming out, but his Boss Life Volume 3 is out now. The album he put out last year does amazing body of work, so please go check that out. But yeah, we working, and I'm down to work with anybody. I just got to say that here because people, I don't know, it's a lot of politics in this. Right, but right. I'm from me, like I'm down to work with anybody. Just reach out. It's not hard. I'm not hard to find.
Cool. Now you just mentioned AGK. For the people, that is All Gold Kings. So,
yes, sir.
No, tell us about that.
That's my brothers. Like I grew up with them. Like I'm really closer to them than my actual blood brothers. To be honest, if we're gonna be totally honest, they like met them in North Carolina, and we've been together ever since. Even though I moved back to Baltimore now, like I'm back up here, but it's like I never left because we talk every single day. But yeah. Mr. Bats, aka Rodney Bats, my brother for sure. Jarrell Lofton, who I just mentioned, who basically taught me how to make beats. Quan Ruffin, Javon Bunch.
Shout out to Mr. Bats who just commented.
My man, salute. Yeah, man, they my brothers, and we just a couple good brothers trying to make it out the hood with doing something we love to do. Mm-hmm. That's basically it. And I'm just trying to, if I like a lot of people, and like, I'm gonna just be honest, some of them ain't inspired. So a lot of what I'm doing musically is to inspire them to get on the right track. I'm gonna just keep it totally honest. Mm-hmm. I gotta, like, if I have to be the inspiration for them, then hey, I'll be here. I'll do it anytime. But yeah, they're my brothers. We about to do something crazy. We about to do something crazy for sure.
Tell us about your project with the samples from Minnie Riperton.
Oh wow! Hold up! This album right here is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. I love it. It's very dear to me. It's never coming out of this plastic because of that. I feel like she's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, female vocalists I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, me doing that project was just, it was like it had to happen because I didn't even know it was her birthday that day. It was like a lot of stuff. I just know I was sampling her that morning. And then I seen a post and it was like, happy birthday, Minnie Riperton. I was like, oh no, I gotta put this out. I have to put this out. It couldn't be more greater timing right now. So yeah, that was just me paying homage, like I always do. If like as you can see.
Yeah, you definitely. If you go through your catalog, you see you're definitely paying homage.
Yeah, for sure. I try.
But that's interesting that you actually did that on our birthday, not knowing that.
I swear it was the most coincidental thing that can happen. That was crazy.
Now, many people are fans of Nas, so tell us. Let's go through the process of when you created Stormatic.
All right, so that's a funny story. I originally did the project 2012, and it was sampling the same songs as Illmatic. Mm-hmm. The computer that I had at the time, it crashed, lost the project. Oh. Fast forward, I still had the artwork. It's the same artwork, same everything, but I had a whole different type of attitude going towards it. I was like, all right, I'm in a different space in my life. I don't want to like sample the same songs as like Illmatic right now. This is just where Storm is at. This is my Illmatic. This is me. Like at this point in my life, this is just me. Like this is my Illmatic, so to speak. And that's crazy you brought that up. I haven't heard that in a while. So that's wild. I haven't heard that project in a long time. I swear that's crazy. I'm gonna have to listen to that. Thank you for even acknowledging that. I forgot all about that project. That's crazy.
Yeah, once I discovered that other project, I was going down the rabbit hole on your what work you had on your Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And that was one of them that was another that stuck out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Now with Carolina Blues, did you make that while you were in NC?
70% is 3 beats. That's not that I made up here, but yeah, I was down there. I want to say it was 2015. Was it? I think it was 2015. It might have been because I was catching the train back and forth from Baltimore to Wilson at the time. So yeah, every time I was there, we would just cook up music. Like we was just chilling, making music. It was like I was there before. Like we was just doing regular things, and I had so many beats like that I was just making during the process. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just put it all. But I forgot what 3 beats that I didn't make down there. But I know it's 3 beats for sure because it's 70%. I say it was made down there. Just me catching the train back and forth.
Cool. About how many beats do you make, in a day or a week?
See, it's different now. It's mad strategic now. But if I'm like in a good a groove, I probably could knock out I say 8. A good 8. Plus a few ideas that's not full beats that I'll probably just throw to the side, but full beats like finished, sequence, arranged, shit like that, I'll say 8. Now, but back then, a couple years ago, I probably knock out a whole beat tape in a day. But now it's more thought out than it was back then.
I'm not gonna get on camera.
Now with these projects that you've been putting out, how is your experience with being able to knock out, because production is one part of it, but you're also doing engineering work as well. So tell us how that's helped you to polish, your own skill.
Engineering wise, mix and master and all that. I'm really a nerd when it comes to it. So I'm throughout my day, I might find something like a trick or something I didn't know, and I just tuck it to the side and save it for later. But yeah, I'm really into that because I want people to understand it's more than just me making beats. It's a sound, it's a real sound. It's kind of sort of surround sound without surround. All right, let's see, you on your phone right now. I don't know what kind of phone you have, but on an Android, so to speak, you might have a feature that says surround sound. You click it, it's going to sound surround sound. What I try to do is make it so the average person can have a surround sound experience without even pressing or adding the feature together. So it's really mad thought out. It's very strategically thought out. I really pay attention to stuff like that because I want people to really acknowledge the sound, so to speak. It's 50-50 production and sound hand in hand. Not just the production is crazy. I want you to really appreciate the sound as well.
With your projects, they sound like they could easily be soundtracks. Is that something that you would ever think about doing further?
Wow. Oh man. I really want to do a game soundtrack. A video game soundtrack, that would be crazy. But if I could pick, if I had the opportunity to pick the music for a movie, I would be totally down for that. I would love to do that for sure.
What kind of video game?
Ooh, like a Grand Theft Auto. It would have to be something like that, or if they was to ever do another Mafia game, something like that. It would have to be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be with that.
And as far as a film, what type of film?
Ooh, gangster movies, like a Goodfellas. That's my favorite type of movies. Godfather 2 is my favorite movie. Godfather Part 2 is my favorite film of all time. It's definitely the best sequel of all time. I don't care what nobody say. It's no sequel better than that. That's my favorite. So it would have to be something like that. A gangster flick. For sure.
But I'm gonna have this tomorrow morning.
I was probably thinking that you might have said sci-fi at some point because we listening to "Where's My Remote."
Oh, that was crazy. Wow, that's hard. I don't know. Maybe so. I mean, yeah, you just wow, I forgot about that project. That's crazy. Where's My Remote? That was an interesting project. That was very interesting.
Yeah,
was that inspired more horror than sci-fi?
It was really just TV, period. Like TV themes, like period. Because they all sampling a TV show theme song for sure. So yeah, it was just that.
What keeps your drive going to, just keep making projects? Because most people they're not necessarily put out projects the way you're doing and have them have a different sound. They're more so putting out tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it's deeper for me. I gotta reach my influences. Like the people influence me. I have to catch their attention somehow. Like I gotta let them know. Like yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of y'all. Let me in the circle. I'm one of you guys, please. That's what it really is, man. I gotta be one of the greats. Not the greatest, because the greatest is no longer here in my eyes. R.P. J Dilla. He's no longer here, but he's still here every day because of the music. But I just want to be in that conversation, man. That's really what it is.
Okay. When did you first listen to Dilla?
2007. I was in the 10th grade, but I was skipping school a lot. Well, not even skipping school. Niggas was still in school, just not going to class. And they and they threw me out. They said no. They called my mother and all that. Like, no, come get him. He can't finish the semester. So I had mad time. I had a lot of free time on my hands. And this is where YouTube comes in handy, because that's where I didn't even know. This is how he's so genius. I didn't know I was listening to Dilla this whole time. I just didn't know who was making the beats. He was been around me this whole time. I've heard all of this minus his own work, but I didn't know he was the one making the beats. So I remember it vividly. It was a day. This is when XXL magazine was really still XXL magazine, not like they are today. Right. This is when they still you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I seen the article that they had, and they was talking about donuts, and I read the article, and I was like, wow. So I found the album, I listened to the album, and then when they got to One for Ghost, I lost my mind, because I was like, yo, this is fish scale. Like, what is it? Then that sent me on a whole, like, hold up. Then I had to Wikipedia this man. I'm going to be honest, I had to Wikipedia. And then I'm like, yo, he made all these beats that I love. Busta Rhymes, Let's Enjoy the Ride. Like, I can go on all day. And yeah, it was that. It was 2007. I'll never forget it. And the first project was definitely Donuts. And it sent me down a whole rabbit hole for sure.
That's great. Your drive to actually go dig deeper for each artist that you listen to is not everyone does that.
Yeah, man. People say that a lot, but I just love it, bro. Like, I don't know how I love music, and I love finding out finding out about the people that made the music. Probably more. Like, I probably enjoy, like, get a satisfaction out of that more, because they're like it's very crazy when you really find out, like, wow, they just regular people like us. Like, they mad regular. They ain't. Yeah, some of them is a little egotistic. Of course, we all have that. It's a human nature, but they regular. They mad regular.
Name some artists that you would love to work with.
Oh God. Any art, like it don't matter. Anybody?
Doesn't matter the genre.
Jay-Z, where are you? Jay-Z, I'm waiting for you. Where you at? This is my favorite rapper of all time. Jay-Z, I have to say that first. Oh man, Cameron, for sure. Oh, Lloyd Banks. I would love to work with Lloyd Banks right now.
You heard his new album?
Yes, I love it. It's amazing. I love it. Oh man. Honestly, bro, I'll work with Beyonce. I would love to work with Beyonce. I like how she's a producer without having to make a beat. She's really producing all of the music. Like she's picking, like, yeah, I like this, like that. So I would love to work with Beyonce and Wayne. That has to happen for me. I have to work with Wayne somehow. But yeah, that's probably it. I can go on, but yeah, that's probably the top
main one.
Yeah.
Before you put out the Marvin tape, you had Randoms.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that one.
It's beats people turn down. You probably won't believe it. Okay. They turned them down. They really did. And I just made a beat tape out of it. I swear, that's basically it. It was just beats just sitting on my desktop. And I was like, bruh, y'all tripping. I'm gonna put these out. And now they like, bruh, they hit me up like, bro, I should have used it. Yeah, I know. I sent it to you. You should have used it. But yeah, that's all it is. They turned the beats down. I made a beat tape out of it.
And then before that, you had Agua.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And I ain't even the type of person that'll say that about his own music, but I was just in the vibe, man. Like, that was a vibe. Like, creating that was probably the most fun I had making beats this year. That was just his zone. I'm just hungry, man. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Tell us a little bit, where your thought process was when you named those song titles for that project.
Well, Agua?
Yeah.
You talking about Agua?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what's on there. B12.
Yeah.
I know B12 is on there. I mean, vitamins. Vitamins. I take vitamins every day. I didn't want to make beats today. That's a real thing because I wasn't going to make beats that day, and I that was the first thing that came. I was like, okay, maybe I need to keep making beats. I'm trying to think what else is on there.
Let me go look it up. You got Apples.
Oh, Apples. Man, that's a beat that I want to get a Ghostface so bad. I can hear him on that beat so bad. Yeah, and I probably was eating the apple. It'd be just random things like that. It just be random, but yeah. Oh man, I need to listen to that. I haven't listened to that project in a minute, so I need to go back to that. That was a vibe. But yeah, Apples, man. I might have to do like a remix or something with Ghostface on that, just to let people know, like, yeah, this is for Ghostface.
This is for Ghost.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ghost.
For sure. Salute the Ghost. One of the greatest.
You ever think of doing a project where you just have any
beats for Ghostface? Oh, you talking about like I did it. I did one for Biggie. It's I don't know if it's on. Is it on Bandcamp? I'm not sure. It might be on there. I did one for Jay. Oh yeah, I did one for Jay in 2012. That's not on Bandcamp. I got it. I might put. I see a lot of music that's not on Bandcamp for sure. But yeah, I did. I think that's the only one. I did one for DMX, but I'm not putting it out because it's too much.
Everything that's right now, yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm not putting that out. But yeah, I think I put out two like little snippets on Instagram or something. But yeah, I did a whole project when I like did remixes of DMX. I'm not gonna put it out though. Not right now.
Now tell us about the project. Who is Storm Watkins? Volume 3 was that Captain Kirk.
Oh yeah, that's me. That's my nickname, Captain Kirk. Yeah, that's me, man. I'll be kirked out. Be kirked sometimes. That's basically me. But yeah, the series that's like one of the first. Who is Storm Watkins? The first one is like one of the first projects where I say got attention, if I can say that. That was in 2010 of August. So yeah, that was like one of the first ones where people really gravitated to because I was putting out random stuff and everybody like, who is this guy? So I just made a project to let people know. But yeah, it's 3. I think it's only 3. But yeah, the third one is my favorite because it's probably I was in the vibe. I was in the vibe creating it. Yeah, the third one is definitely my favorite out of the 3.
Now, the people that have been reaching out to you, did they find your music through social media or anywhere else?
I'll say social media or like you guys posting it like you do, and I'm very thankful for that. Salute to y'all. But yeah, that's how they really find out. Or some random like Instagram helps. I'm not gonna lie, Instagram helps. The little videos, the beats, and stuff like that. But yeah, mainly it is from social media.
Okay. And before the pandemic, were there any like showcase type of shows that you were at?
Nah, I ain't. See, before the pandemic, I was in the studio with Charles Hamilton a lot. Like the end of 2019, I was like really locked in with him, and that was an honor because he's one of the greatest producers to me. I don't care what nobody else say. I know what he did for me musically. I hear the music. I don't care about all the other stuff behind the name, but I know the man personally. So yeah, we was in the studio a lot. And we made a project, and it came out great. We still ain't put it out yet, but it's around. It's definitely around. So shout out to Charles Hamilton too. That's my guy.
If there was any artist right now that contacted you, what would be the first thing that you would say to them?
It depends on the artist. It depends on who it is.
Okay.
Now, if it's, let me say this correctly. If they really want to work and they nice, let's work. That's it. But if I'm not really vibing with you, like, yeah, it's like, I'll get back to you. But no, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know.
Now, you say you won't talk about too much why you went back to a previous version of Fruity Loops, but have you tried any other programs?
I mean, I had my little experience with Reason in 2010, but other than that, I'm tripping. Logic. Use Logic. Yeah, 2000. That was like an error. 2016, 2017 ish. Like, shout out to my little brother Damon. He put me onto it. So yeah, that was like a vibe. But nah, FL Studio 10 is where I'm at. It's a certain sound that people don't understand. It's a certain sound, man. Like, it's not, you can't get it from FL Studio 20 or nothing. Like, I think they did it right with FL Studio 10. I think they did it right. It didn't really need all the other theatrics.
Do you play any instruments?
No, that will probably blow your mind. I don't know nothing about music theory or none of that. My girlfriend plays the flute. She's musically trained, and she is always like, "What's wrong with you? You don't know how to do this." And I'm just playing what I hear. This is what I hear in my head. I don't know, but yeah, I want to learn. I'm going to learn one day. I'm definitely going to learn one day. But right now, I'm just homing my skills with what I do. But eventually. Eventually, I definitely want to learn because music theory is I guess it's important to know.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't know right now. I don't know right now.
And what would be that instrument that you would want to try first?
Piano.
Piano. Okay.
Yeah, definitely the keys.
Now you took out that Minnie Riperton vinyl. Is there anything else you got over there?
My favorite rap album of all time. That's about it.
Jay-Z's Blueprint. Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna start collecting vinyls and stuff, but I had to get those first because they're my 2 favorite albums. So yeah, I'm getting better. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there sooner or later.
And you mentioned Dilla and Charles Hamilton. Is there any other producers that really influenced you?
Puff Daddy and the Hitman. D. Dot, Nasheem.
D-Dot.
Yeah. Kanye. Just Blaze. Heat makers for sure. Heat makers, yes. Yeah, damn. Let me think. Hold up. RZA. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, Knife Wonder. I'm tripping. Knife. Yeah, Knife Wonder. Shout out to Knife.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I think they called the Funk Brothers, the Motown, the Motown production team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them for sure. All of that, everything they did. Yeah, them.
Now, I'm gonna ask you about one more of your projects that stuck out for me, and that was the effects of coffee.
Woo! That is a crazy project, man. I was on a lot of caffeine, brother. I gotta be honest. That was a trip. Oh man, yeah, it was definitely the effects of coffee. I definitely don't drink coffee anymore, but during that time, I was mad uppity, if you will. It was a vibe. Oh man, that's crazy. It's a beat on it I love that actually I just sent to Mr. Batts if he's still in here. It's called No Look Past. I love that beat. Hopefully you'll hear Mr. Batts' vocals on it soon. So yeah.
Yeah,
I respect you for doing. I respect you for doing your real research. That's crazy. Like you mentioning some rare projects right now. That's all. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Like you were saying, you end up going down a rabbit hole. When I discover someone new, that's how I am.
That's what's up. I like that. That's all.
And then being that you have a central place to hear most of it, which the fans that are listening right now and listening later on, you can go to Storm Watkins Bandcamp to go and check these projects out that we're talking about. That's even better.
Right. Thank you for that. Go there now, please.
Indeed. So about how many projects have you actually made?
Well, last time I looked at iTunes, it said, hold up. Matter of fact, I'm at the computer. I can tell you right now. Even though it's not, I'm missing projects of my own, believe it or not, that people have that. And if they're watching this, please send me my music. Why are you holding my own music? I don't know. But yeah, according to my iTunes, let's see, hold up. It's 172.
Ooh.
Yeah, 172 projects. And that's not everything. I'm still missing my own music, but yeah, that's what I have. 172.
Cool. Now, with the sound of the music that you have on your projects, what do you feel like you're bringing to? I can't just call your music hip hop because it the sound is more out than just being contained to that. But what do you feel like you bring?
Soul. They'll put whatever genre it is. Soul is very soulful. That's what I think that's what's missing a lot. We're getting back to it though. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people doing it right, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there too that you know what I'm talking about. I don't even have to say it. But yeah, that's what I bring, man. So I'm a soul brother.
There you go. Did you grow up? Is your family grow up in the church? Is that where a lot of that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. Definitely. Mad memories of that. That was an era for sure. Yeah, a lot of that, and a lot of I gotta give credit. A lot of Motown. Motown it's everything. It's the foundation of me, really.
Have you ever tried using any production equipment?
Oh no, I had MPD 24. It's like the MIDI version of the MPC. I had one of those. That was cool, but other than that, nah. People don't understand, like FL. You can do a lot of stuff with FL Studio, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's a heaven sent it's a heaven sent software for sure. Yeah, I mean, eventually though, like I'm gonna get there, but right now, this is where I'm at.
Now you're good where you at. You know, from what I've been hearing so far, you know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're honing your craft with what you have, and you can actually say from what you were explaining, you tried other software and other equipment, but this is your home.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're flourishing with that.
Thank you. Salute. That's hard. Thank you so much for that.
Now these projects that you were mentioning with Mr. Bax and what was the other guy?
Jarrell Lawson.
Yeah. When can people might expect maybe a single?
We dropped. We did. It was a series where he rapped on classic instrumentals, like for I think it's like 10 of them. It's 10, and we all gonna put them on one project with some bonus songs soon. But his album is gonna be amazing. And if you haven't heard Boss Life Volume 3, please go listen to that. Mr. Bats, MISTA Bats, Boss Life Volume 3 on all streaming platforms. I promise you, this man has a story to tell, and he's telling it very well. And I'm very proud of him for telling it. But yeah, him and Jarrell got a project coming out together, which I produce as well. Okay. That's coming out soon too. So yeah, we working, man. We just working, man. And we having fun while we doing it. So,
and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing that, it eventually it's going to show in how the music sounds.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Definitely, man. So, tell the people how do I say this? Because I was thinking, with your project, you normally say that, if you're listening to a certain type of artist or a sound, that's what you work on, and you go digging, and then you create your project. Like if you, after this interview, if you was to get off and you heard something, or maybe even before this interview, is there something that you heard today that you said, I can make a project out of that?
It was a lot of music I've been listening to lately that it's a project of mine, like that I want to make, but it's gonna be a challenge to make. And when I'm kind of up for the challenge now. Yeah, this is an album that I want to make. I want it to come out. I already know when I want it to come out. I just haven't worked on it yet.
Okay.
But that's even more of a challenge for myself. It's going to be called The Virgo. It's hopefully it'll come out on my birthday, which is September 6th. But yeah, I've been listening to it. I got a strategic way how I want to do this. And if I pull it off right, I think it'll be a great experience for listeners. But yeah, it's a lot of, I really gotta map it out the right way first. But yeah, I'm really just tapping into that. It's going, hopefully. Let's see how that works out. But yeah, it's going The Virgo. I want to make that project for me. Okay. So yeah.
Well, you've shown that you're meticulous and you want to have the best product out from your previous project. So I'm sure you're up to the challenge.
I am. I really am. I'm trying to be humble, but yeah.
So, man, what's the hardest thing that you've experienced with producing music?
The hardest thing I experienced? I mean, being that is my life, it's not really hard to do because it's really therapeutic. But the playback sometimes is hard. Like I can't really listen to a lot of stuff that people love. That's probably the hardest thing because it brings me back to some times where it was just not. Yeah. So yeah, that's the playback is probably the hardest thing. Making the music is nothing because I really need to get this off right now. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, probably listening to it back is probably like, all right, I can't listen to this, and that kind of sucks because people love the projects, and it's like, fuck, what I'm gonna do now? But yeah, that's probably the hardest thing.
Cool. Storm Watkins on HHDG Media. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, because after hearing your music, I was like, I got to see if he wants to be on the show. So
Of course, anytime. I would love to do this again. I would love to do this again. I appreciate you for having me.
Definitely do this after one of these projects comes out. It'll definitely work out, and then you can actually have them on as well.
For
Have Mr. Bats
sure.
on there and Jarrell on there.
I appreciate that.
Definitely.
Much love. Salute.
Cool. Now tell the people where they can reach you at and also support your music.
At Storm Watkins on everything. At All Gold Kings on everything. Stormwatkins.bandcamp.com. Storm Watkins on all streaming platforms. Mr. Bats on all streaming platforms. MrBats.bandcamp.com. At Mr. Bats on Instagram. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. And I'm sorry that there's one more thing I wanted to ask, which we spoke about All Gold Kings, but we didn't talk about the name Storm Watkins.
Oh, that's my name. It's my name.
Okay.
It was a birth name. My mom gave me the name. I don't know. People, I see it's been this way my whole life, so I get it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just my name.
All right. On behalf of the rest of the members of HHDG, that is KB, Skelly Top, T. Smith, the Mayor, and myself, Wiki. We're gonna say peace.
Peace. Salute, y'all.
Thank you again, man.
Mm-hmm.